If we're looking at this perspective and we're adding to this to these new reports and initial reports saying that Russia will build another air base in Syria, how this is coming with this and what will come out from this equation at the end of the day?
I think it's very clear today that Russia is determined to pursue its military operations in Syria to protect what is left of Bashar al-Assad's regime. And of course, Russia is not going to be deterred by the downing of this airplane by Turkey a week ago. What Russia is going to do and started doing against Turkey is mostly economic retaliation, especially in the field of natural gas, because Turkey is extremely dependent on Russia for its natural gas supplies. It doesn't have any natural gas reserves. And as we discussed here last week, and as we predicted, Russia is using its economic leverage vis-à-vis Turkey to retaliate after the downing of its airplane last week.
So we will still continue talking about this, but let's see the United States position on it. U.S. President Barack Obama was at the OECD offices in Paris today, where he discussed a wide range of global issues. I24News international analyst Christian Malade was there and filed this report.
If Barack Obama did not have much to say about the struggle against global warming, declaring that the Paris summit should be the springboard, the architecture for success, he was definitely far more outspoken concerning his disagreements with Russian President Putin on the struggle against the Islamic State and Syria. Barack Obama declares that the Russians have already many losses on the ground and that Vladimir Putin starts understanding the risk of being bogged down. However, he is not very optimistic about a very quick shift of attitude concerning President Putin, saying that the Russian president is more interested in strengthening Bashar al-Assad instead of targeting the Islamic State. So I have no illusion, does say Barack Obama, concerning Vladimir Putin. It will be a long time before we get to a drastic change. The tone is not very optimistic, but at the same time, he's not either more optimistic when he talks about his conversation with Turkish President Erdogan, who told him yesterday evening that between Turkey and Syria, the frontier is not closed. There is still 90 kilometers through which the members of the Islamic States get through on a daily basis.
Yes. And that was Christian Malade. Professor Navon, I want to ask you, we're seeing the United States being in, let's say, not such a convenient place, and they're moving in an uncomfortable way in their chair concerning the Turkish issue. And how much it's hurting the Americans and the prestige of Turkey that is trying to be part of the global world and find itself, let's say, with its pants down when everybody's talking about Turkey helping IS.
I think the policy of Turkey is very embarrassing for the United States at this point, because Turkey is a member of NATO. Turkey is supposed to be on the front line in the struggle against Islamic State. Turkey is also a country where Barack Obama made a speech at the beginning of his first term, wanted to repair the relationship with the Islamic world. And as far as Barack Obama is concerned, I think he had very high hopes about Turkey, and he's been very disappointed. And at this point, I think he's even embarrassed. And he reminded himself the fact that the role of Turkey in the struggle against Islamic State is even more than ambiguous at this point. I mean, as he reminded everybody, the border is still open between Turkey and what is left of Syria and Iraq and the Islamic State. And President Putin himself reminded the world that Turkey is still purchasing oil from the Islamic State. So I think, to resume, as far as Obama is concerned, as President Obama is concerned, at this point he's being really embarrassed by Turkey's policy.
So let's see.